Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, something a little bit different. I am going to compare my show day pictures from 2023, my last competition, to this week's check-in at 6.5 weeks out from my first show in 2025. And I'm going to give you an honest physique analysis in terms of where I was at, where I am at, the progress I've made, and what I feel like still needs to improve. Just an honest reflection. So let's dig in. Let's go through things. So I think first of all, check-in pictures are the simplest way for us to actually analyze, assess, and be able to track our progression. So if you are not taking physique check-in pictures and you're looking to develop your physique, take your pictures weekly. Take them in the same position, the same time of the day, and make them the same each week. Because if you do that, each week, each month, you can track and compare pictures and be able to see exactly the progress that's being made. So don't just rely on the scales, which a lot of people do. Pictures, visuals, compare. That's super, super important. And that's something I really nail into my clients, that pictures are going to tell the full story, not just the scales. So let's dig in, okay? So here I will put show day 2023, just before PCA Ireland, first thing in the morning. Now, the lighting here will be a little bit different because this was obviously in Ireland at the time and this is in my new house now. So with these pictures, you will see that they're a little bit more zoomed in. So they'll actually make me look a little bit bigger here, but you get the gist. You'll see the comparisons. So let's start off with one of the quarter turns. So with this, I think I definitely have seen a lot of tissue added across that top line, across the chest, across the arms, across, even just the depth in the legs as well. Obviously, in these as well, on show day, midsection is going to be a lot tighter too because more time dieting, really kind of, that gut's always going to be smaller on show day because that's what we're aiming for. So I know midsection here will get a lot tighter as the weeks go on. And I think that will really emphasize everything else. So it will see more fullness across the top line, and obviously more through the legs as well as that waist comes in that bit smaller too, and the lower back comes in a little bit more. So condition is obviously not the same, but it will come, and that will kind of create the illusion that everything else is bigger. I'm happy with the progression that's being made here. I need more arms. It's as simple as that, and that's something that I'm probably going to bring in going into this next off season is an actual arm day. I've added a lot of muscle this off season, but my arms I know are still going to be a glaring weakness in a lot of my poses too, which again I completely understand. So that's something before anyone says I know this. I think I obviously still need a lot off my glutes here, but even here, okay, I was very, very lean for the amount of muscle I had. So the thing is, you could only get as lean as how much muscle you have. And here, if I kept sucking down, I probably would have looked like a piece of string. I'd already pull off maybe 25 kg, okay? And let me just say, okay, I should have said this at the start. Show day, 106.5 kg, so 235 pounds. In these pictures this week, these ones were 117.9 kg, which is what? 258 maybe, 260 in around that. So in around 20-25 pounds in the difference here, which is obviously a lot more body weight, and obviously a lot of muscle has been added. So quarter turn, I'm happy with the improvements here. Not a pose that I'm massively comfortable in, but it is definitely improving. Rear relaxed. So here I think we can definitely see just a lot of depth and thickness added to the back. And I think, honestly, more so, I think when you're in person, I think you can see depth and thickness a lot more than in pictures. So that 3D look, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you see someone in person and you see they're like, oh, you're a lot bigger in terms of like the density and thickness, I'm not saying I look a lot bigger in person, but I'm just saying that I feel like in person, it's a lot more visible, the progress that has been made between these two in some of these shots. But still, obviously here, a lot more to come off the glutes and a lot more to come off the hamstrings. But I'm very happy with the musculature added here. And I know as them glutes suck down a little bit more too, it is really, really going to be a night and day difference between these two shots. Let's go into front lat spread. So front lat spread, there has been just a lot of again, thickness added. I think that waist will continue to come in here. That will continue to come down, which again will make them legs just sweep that bit more. But I think there's been a lot added to the legs, the quads, and just the quality of the muscle in the legs, to be fair. And the lats have definitely come up a good chunk, a bit more across the chest and the delts as well. Arms still need, like I said, they're an area that I want to see a lot more in for sure. And legs, being a tall guy, I'm 6'2", so legs for me, like even though I know they've improved, it's going to take a long time to actually fill these legs out and make them look big on my frame. So again, progress is being made, but this is only a pit stop in my journey to show. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing after. There's a lot more progress that needs to be made, but bodybuilding is about progress from show to show, and I have done that, and I'm in the process of bringing a better package. So that is all I can do, and then I can work on these improvements needed for next time. So front lat spread, I'm happy. I think it's definitely a strong shot of mine, for sure, because I think, like I said, as I diet down more, that waist will come in even more, and I think it will accentuate the lats and the legs taper a little bit more. So I think this on stage, this is usually a stronger shot for me. So I think it'll be the same this year as well. Front double, as you will see, a lot more added. I think a lot more across the lats, across that top line, across the arms as well. Like, let's call a spade a spade. They're shit, but they're a little bit less shit. So I think in this shot, there's just been a lot of depth added and just a bit more thickness. And there's been a big improvement for sure. Still, it's a shot that honestly, I don't really feel comfortable in. I don't feel super confident in, because when I get into it, I know that I'm exposed. I know that shows a lot of my weaknesses. So there's nothing worse than getting into a shot and just being like, I don't feel good in this. I want to get out of it. In comparison to like a lat spread where I feel pretty confident in it. So with this, definitely big improvements for sure. But a lot more to make. Also, I have issues with my mobility in my shoulders as well. So when I get into that shot, it's almost like I can't open up enough. So it's like I'm really bunched up. So I feel like it makes me look narrower, which is something that has definitely improved. But, I'm getting deep tissue work done. I'm stretching, I'm doing mobility. So slowly but surely this is improving. Side chest. Again, a shot for me, which I feel like is a bit of a weakness just because that arm size. I feel it's a big gap, as you will see with the arms here. However, if we compare to where this was last time, I think you will see that it's a night and day difference in terms of just the overall thickness that has been added so far. So again, I'm happy with the improvements, but still a big weakness here. Side tricep, I think for me, this is usually a pretty decent pose, to be quite honest with you. I definitely have seen a lot of thickness added here as well. But again, I notice more. I like the other one as well. I'll show here as well. When you transition over into this one as well, you're actually not really meant to hit this one as a mandatory, but I do like hitting it in my my routines, etc., where you can kind of pose whatever way you want. You'll see the comparison between both of these as well. I like this kind of form of side try when you turn to the side and throw the leg out. But definitely just a bit more mature muscle added in these shots. You can see like in the legs, the muscle looks a little bit grainier. There's a bit more detail. And again, as that waist continues to come down for show day, I know that will accentuate that thickness being added a little bit more as well. Still a bit more condition here to come through like the delt and the arm for sure. And the obliques will become a lot more separated too. But it's definitely a big improvement. From the back. Okay, so I feel this is where a lot of progress has been made. I think if you look at the lat spread to begin with, I feel from the back at 6.5 weeks out, I feel that I actually have more detail in some areas than I did on show day last time, which is pretty exciting. So if you take a look at the glutes over here, you will see the glute and the hamstring. I actually feel there actually is some more detail at the moment at 6.5 weeks out, which is pretty fucking cool. So I know as I really get these stripped out, I think they will actually be in legit condition this year. Again, here I just didn't have that muscularity to really suck them down and have that even leaner look. But here I do have that muscle now, and I really feel like this is the first year where I'm going to be able to etch out them glutes and hams a lot more and have like actual legit condition. I think I'm on track for that. We will see. I'm hoping that them glutes, because they've always been a stubborn area, always. And my back shots when I turn, I'm like, oh, I just know that like they can be leaner. So this year, I feel like they will be, and I know that they are already. So I'm going to be excited to see how these come in over the next few weeks. Back double, definitely a shot I'm a bit uncomfortable in. I just find it hard to open up again and actually get into it. But there has been big improvements here with my ability to get into it. So I am quite happy at the moment. But if you see the comparisons, like here on show day last year, not like terribly weak from the back, but like it's just not a strong point. It's not. Lower back was lean, hams and glutes were lean. But I think this time, if you take a look now at this year, at the moment, I think you will see there's just a little bit more depth to the back, just a lot more going on, basically a little bit more detail and lines popping through. Lower back is still pretty tight, still obviously a bit more to come off lower back and glutes as well, and hamstrings, but it's just a little bit more complete. There's just a little bit more thickness and depth to it. So again, it's better, but again, there's a lot more work to do. Like I said, it's a 6'2" frame. Realistically, I don't have great genetics for bodybuilding. Anyone who's 6'2", it's hard to make it in bodybuilding in terms of like really good placements, etc. But I love this game. I do it because I love it, and I understand that it's an uphill battle when you are taller, and I embrace the challenge. I embrace it because with me, if I add 10 pounds, if somebody who is 4 inches shorter than me, or even 2 inches shorter, if they add 10 pounds, they look like they've added 20. Does that make sense? Whereas if I add 10 pounds of muscle, it doesn't look like a whole lot on a tall frame. So it's a little bit more difficult for sure. But back shots here, really excited to see how these come in. But definitely a lot of progress made here from the back so far this year. My abs and thigh, I like hitting my abs and thigh like this with like one arm up and kind of showing obliques and abs. I don't know if they're going to like that on stage. Sometimes they call us out on that and they're like, no, proper abs and thigh, like hands overhead. So we'll see. But if you take a look at my the abs and thigh, the one I like doing here, there's definitely just a bit. I think the phrase to use is a bit more going on. Just the legs, the actual abs, even the thickness across the top line, just the overall, like across here, you will just see it's a bit wider up top and the waist comes in a bit more and the legs flare in comparison to here where it's just a bit up and down. There's not much really going on. So just a little bit more detail. And again, ultimately, it all comes down to just more muscle. The more muscle you have, the more shape you're going to have. The more muscle you have, the leaner you can get, which will make you look even bigger. So it's just a lot more muscle this time, which is allowing me to get more condition. So yeah, the abs and thigh, I like that one. See if I can find, I actually don't know if I have a hands overhead, normal ab and thigh from show day last time, but most muscular. So I'm actually hitting my most muscular a little bit different at the moment. So I'm trying two alternatives. I'll put two of them here. I'm trying kind of just normal most muscular, and then I'm doing hands on hip. Not really sure which one looks better, but I definitely feel like these look better than what I was doing last time with the hands kind of like together. You'll see the difference. But here you will see that, again, pretty sharp from this shot, but just not much depth, but if you look here, there's just a bit more going on again. I feel like looking at these at 6.5 weeks out, again, in some body parts, I actually feel like I'm a little bit leaner than here, which is pretty exciting. It's hard to tell. Obviously the difference in body weight here is 106.5 to 117.9, I think. So what's that? Quick maths, like just over 11 kilo, which is what? Over 25 pounds. So I know that all that is not muscle. Like, I am not stage ready right now. Like, realistically, I reckon I'd probably pull down to maybe like absolutely inside out stripped. I reckon I'm going to be like maybe I probably have another like 8 kg to come off, like realistically, to get absolutely the condition I want, before we fill back up for stage. Maybe even like 109, 110 potentially before we fill back up that little bit, maybe to like 111, 112 or so, which will be a lot heavier than last time on stage, but also a lot leaner. So if let's just say I'm 8 pounds, 10 pounds heavier on stage this time, okay, which I think is realistic, to be quite honest with you. I think that's going to be the case. I'm also going to probably be anywhere from like 5 to 7 pounds leaner as well. So that's, when you put it together, that's a good chunk of muscle added during this off season. I think doing comparisons like this to show day last year in comparison to 6.5 weeks out now, it definitely does allow us to kind of see them improvements. Again, it's not completely the same. Slightly different lighting, zoomed in a bit on the show days, which makes me look a bit bigger, but then also not in the proper show condition at 6.5 weeks out just yet. So it's not completely accurate in terms of what I'm bringing to stage, but it kind of gives you an insight into the progress that's being made and kind of the track that we're on to what we're bringing to stage this year. So I'm really, really excited for it, to be honest with you. Definitely a lot different this time in terms of mindset. 2023, it had been like 4 years since I was on stage. I didn't know what to expect. And again, I overestimated how much muscle I had, and I underestimated how much body fat I had to pull off. So at the end, coming towards the second half of it, I was like, what am I going to look like on stage? What weight will I be? Will I be big enough? Am I going to be conditioned enough? Whereas now, I know what I'd look like on stage last time, and I was actually pretty happy with it, and I got decent placements for my first time, in them open categories. But now I know the improvements I've made, and I know I couldn't have done any better. I couldn't have made more progress. So I think action breeds confidence. And when you take all the steps necessary to get to where you want to be, and you know that you couldn't have done any more, I'm confident. Because it's physically impossible for me to make any more progress with what I've done. I cannot change anything that's done. All I can do is take lessons from this prep then, and then get better after this prep, going to the next off season. So I have confidence knowing that I've done everything I can up until now to make the progress that I need to step on stage this year and be better. And again, who else shows up on the day, it's completely out of my hands. But once I can put these pictures together and take a look at the pictures and the body weight and the comparisons and see visually the improvements that have been made and the different package that we're bringing this time, that is all we can do. This is bodybuilding, and this is what makes me happy. Physical progression, mental progression in every sense of the word. I feel everything that bodybuilding has taught me, I feel like that has led into every other aspect of my life in terms of the mindset that it's given me, the tools that it's taught me, the skills that it's taught me. I think everything I have now has developed and stemmed from really taking bodybuilding seriously. So progression in every sense of the words, and just being honest with yourself. Like, you see me going through these pictures, yes, I know there's improvements, but again, I'm still not as conditioned here. Like, I'm still not big enough here. Like, you can see the weaknesses with the arms, with my legs and some of the shots. Like, there are a lot of weaknesses there. And I'm always just honest and just tell myself how it is, rather than being delusional and being like, oh, I look amazing, or this is amazing. I look at what I feel like is going to be strong, what's going to be decent, and then I look at, right, what needs to be improved and what just isn't good enough this time. So yeah, I know there's a lot of glaring weaknesses, but that is the beauty of this, because there is always room to improve, and that is exactly what I will continue to do. So I will obviously do another comparison going later into the prep as well, showing show day last time to show day this time, etc. too. I'll do more of these. Let me know if you like this, and let me know if you want me to do anything like this with a twist on it. And you let me know. If something will benefit you guys, let me know and I will do it for you because I want to give as much value as I can. I'm not doing this to stroke my own ego. I'm doing this to give people an insights and to help where I can. So if anything can help, let me know. I will get on it for you. I'm an open book. I don't bite. Just drop me a comment or drop me a message on Instagram. So yeah, that is it. 6.5 weeks out from show number 1. It is getting close. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of body fat to pull off. It is leg day today. So I'm going to go eat the meal number 2, get myself ready for leg day, and I will leave it here for you. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it as always. Like, share, comments, subscribe. Please do. And I will see you in the next one.